light, you see that light is the same. I was thinking in the morning, light on the computer in the room is the same. Now I'm not wearing the glasses. Does the light change outside? Or the light reflected into my eyes falls on the computer has undergone a change? Are you getting it? This is the difference between the false and the real. They both are almost closely knit together. They are closely knit together. Normally we say, oh, now my eyes has improved. Light outside is the same. Without knowing the real self, now see the other side of the journey. Don't know the real self. Don't recognize it. The worldly activities will continue in the same way. The honey will remain honey, your house will remain house, you will continue to make an effort, you will continue to earn money. Huh? So, what changes takes place when we recognize and realize the real self? The worldly activities will continue like this. So when people falsely realize the worldly activities will continue to be the same, people ask me, is it possible to earn more money when I know the real self? No, it depends on your hard work. It depends on your intention. So, what change will come? Because it is New Year is coming, so I want you to make a resolve to understand clearly. You apply these principles into your life, you become your own teacher. So, just let me complete this part. We will still succeed. We will succeed with stress, we will fail with stress. That is the difference. Understand it clearly. That is the difference. Fears and delusion and anxiety will pass through my mind almost every day. When I don't recognize and realize the real self, when I realize the real self, they will hardly come. Identification is not there. Otherwise, we will continue to work like a machine every day, like others. So I should have a conviction. I should have a conviction in my daily living that I am totally free from anxiety, delusion, stress. Why? Because in that state, the real self will shine in my daily thinking, speaking, and acting. It will result into awakening. So resolve this year, coming new year, that you will change yourself every day. You will change yourself every day, and you first become your own teacher, and then start teaching others, start talking others, start communicating with others. Think We have been doing it for years, so even if the 7 or 8 or 9 people will become the center of evolution, it is going to help the society, the family, not only you. I had the same guy yesterday, he called me. He hit the bike, and the biker started abusing. He also went outside his car, and he said that I just hit him, but I did not. And then I remembered you. I retrieved my steps and sat in the car, and I said sorry. Even if it is not my fault, I returned. And I was sitting at my home, but my mind was racing. You see how changes comes? So my mind is racing. I was telling myself that you are stupid. He was addressing himself. I said that is the beginning of a change. Because why I went outside the car and I wanted to hit. I was in a race. You see, that awareness comes. That awareness comes. He's very strong physically. Jerry knows. You will find out who is this. But I said that you called me. That is a good thing. And you are saying that you are crazy, even if it is the fault of others. I should have been little more aware, but it happened. I should calm down. That change comes, and then you live a life of higher consciousness. Because New Year is approaching, so I said that make a resolve that I'm going to change based invoking these principles. So I said, my mind is constantly saying that, why I came out of the car and I wanted to hit. That is not my nature. I said, this is very good. How many people think like this? It happens because of you have learned those principles. Oh, there is no use. So sometimes people change like this. There is a story, Master, I'm paralyzed by fears about death. A seeker said to the Master, I'm paralyzed by fears about the death, about whether I'm living a meaningful life, about losing those I love. How can I find the peace? It's a very famous parable. It is explained in a different ways. So the Master smiled and poured the tea into the cup. The tea overflowed, spilling everywhere, but the teacher kept pouring. Master, the cup is full. The Master said, like this cup, your mind is so full of fears that it cannot receive the peace that is already there. What I did to this guy? You did the right thing. You're saying yourself crazy. Now find out what is the craziness. Get rid of it. You are in peace. Are you ready to apply the principles to change your entire life, personality? Wherever you are, what you do, is it possible to think, speak, and act in peace, happiness, love, and wisdom? So, where lies the problem? The problem lies. You take an example of a rope and the snake. The length of the rope and the length of the snake is the same. It is the same. So the false eye and the real eye is of the same shape, but of different quality. We are going deeper. Of a different quality. So this guy who called me that yes, whatever I did, even if the biker is at fault, I should not raise myself. Why? I will feel the light of the sun has reduced. I gave a couple of parables. So the false I and the real I overlapping is there. I have to recognize inside me. So when the false I takes over, the snake appears. I'm in a terrible situation, relationship, stress, and anxiety and delusion. False I is not there. Real I, come on. Do you see what is awakening? This is awakening. A lot of people will say, I will show you the blue light and the orange light in the meditation. Don't go there. I'm warning you. It has nothing to do with it. Did Buddha explain any time? Did Jesus explain any time that I saw the blue light and I was awakened? Whose cup is full? Check it now. With what? Anxieties, pain, fears. Take the same example. Rope and the snake of equal size. This way or this way. So, this way the false I is on the top. What happens? We have daily anxieties and fears and the pain points in our life. Daily. Who doesn't have financial concern? Who doesn't want to pay the bills, saving for the future, or managing debt, fear of job loss or income instability? Who does not have the health issues? Tell me. Who does not have a problem in relationship? Who does not have? Who does not have a work-related stress? Who does not have a social expectation? Who does not have a parenting challenges? Those who are parents, I'm talking about it. Maybe there are a couple of people. No, almost. Who does not have an uncertainty about the future? So it is caused by the false I. When you live with the real I, still those challenges are there, but you are happy. Who does not have the fear of mortality, the fear of death? Who does not have? But that fear of death is coupled with the false I. Real I, okay. Anyone who is not born, does he have the fear of death? Ask yourself, understand clearly, put the logic, prove it. So whosoever is born has to die, but I'm not the body. So when I'm not the body, I'm neither born nor die. Finished. Do I have that conviction? And I know when I say it is my body, obviously my body is a possessive case. I possess car, I possess mind, I possess body. So body comes and goes. We are talking about how to understand and dissolve the daily anxieties, daily delusion, daily pain points based on the first 8 steps. If you follow, should I say religiously? Yes. if you follow 8 steps religiously, all these anxieties, delusion, pain points, we talk in the corporate, what is your pain point? From there we will start. The speaker already has a pain point. How is going to speak? I've seen in couple of sessions. So birth and the death, we have anxieties about the birth and the death. Relationship. What is that anxieties? We have a fear of loss, challenge of connection, unconditional love, and conditional expectations. I'm making a difference. Unconditional love and conditional expectations is attachment. I'm attached, so I will be worried about my son or my kids or my honey or anything else. I'm alone, so I'm alone, okay? Loneliness. Now I had a wonderful relationship. Now I'm alone, lonely. You are born with that guy. Okay. You were both born together. And when you were born, you had a bond. So I'm talking about all this anxieties, delusion, and what you say, the pain points and the stress. Recognize they all belong to the false side. The fear of uncertainty. What is next? What is next? What is next? Trump is going to take over on January 20th. That is next. Do you see the fear of uncertainty? Anxiety arises from not knowing what lies ahead in my career, in my relationship. I forget the present. I have just projected the future. Existential. Then we have lot of anxieties and pain points and delusion about existential questions. I underlined all those social, family, relationship anxieties. But the greatest anxieties we have is the existential questions. Who am I? Why I am here? What is the purpose? It is answered by the Eastern wisdom. Now just imagine, you know who you are. Intellectually, you are the real self of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. Why I am here? It's a constant process of evolution in the previous, but just imagine, just think that you know it. You have realized that in the previous birth I did not evolve and now I am evolving. Now I could realize why I am here. I'm not only evolving but helping each one. What is the purpose of my life? The goal of life is to realize it. You have already realized. You have correct, right answers of all the 3 questions. Right? Now analyze. Do you have anxiety of fear of loss? Do you have an anxiety for the challenge of connection? Do you have a problem with conditional expectations? Do you have a problem of dependency and loneliness? Tell me. You have none. No, but tell me something so that I can earn more. Why should I tell you? I don't know. Even I don't know. Had I known that, I should have earned more. So you see, the Eastern wisdom answers, removes the delusion, ignorance, and answers clearly your existential questions. Think of the pain points in your life. What are the pain points in your life? I've already underlined, those relationship and having kid and fear and etc. But at a very deeper level, these pain points, the first pain point is the lack of purpose and direction in your life. I can bet you, if you have lack of purpose or direction, you will spend more time in social media, likes and dislikes. I can bet you. You just analyze people. You will definitely. What should I do? I'm lonely. Well, let us go to the social media. The budge is there. Who cares? Think. My goal is to that in the next year you are not only changing, but you are making a change around you because of your thought, speech, and action. Finished. I told you, I warned you again that don't start teaching your near and the dear ones. They know your personality, they know your attitude, they know your pain points, they know your anxieties in the delusion. They will say that you are a hypocrite. It will come after a few weeks, months, and years. Then they will say, yes, he has changed. My son was saying, you have changed a lot. so, so I talk about those principles. I understand. Oh, that's good. I appreciate it. I didn't ask what changes I have. So I tell you frankly. But yes, if the couple is attending, so they can work together. So I'm talking about the pain points in your life. Lack of purpose or direction, that is the basic pain point. Emotional pain. You broke my heart. Really? Go to the hospital. Get the bypass surgery. You broke my heart. Do you see? That is also a pain point. Grief. Unresolved the past traumas. They are existential problems. You will only find the solution in the Eastern wisdom. There is no solution as such in the external. Overwhelmed, juggling too many responsibilities without time for self care. Drop it. Low self worth. Pain point. That is also a great pain point. All this comes to only one thing. I don't use it, spiritual void. There is a sense of void in. I constantly see the snake. I don't see the rope. And it also results in physical discomfort, chronic pain or fatigue or discomfort. What we are talking, New Year is approaching. Start changing. Find out how many times you had anxieties on a given day since you wake up in the morning until you retire to the bed. When you are in deep sleep, so whether you are a monk or whether we are a thief, we do nothing, we are not aware of that I stole something or I am a master. Puzzle again. How many of us relate to the master who said regarding the spilling of the tea from the coffee? Don't spill your mind. When you spill your mind, it is all your anxieties, delusion, pain points, and all come down to the existential question. If I am peace why I reacted. This guy, yesterday, who called me. And then he calmed down. I said, you did the right thing. He said, I'm crazy now. I've been thinking why I did it. Yes, keep on thinking, I said. Keep on thinking. It will change your direction. If you are constantly nagging yourself that I'm crazy, I should not have done it, what impression you are implanting in your mind? How many people are aware? How many people? 99% of the people say, I'm right. I hate you, I did the right thing. False eye. Think. 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 So not only all those 8 steps, but I told you Mangalacharan in the mantra, listening and learning, contemplation and reflection, practice in the experience, daily analysis. So this is the topic, daily analysis. How many times I was in anxiety. But if you're following before and then find out there's a change in behavior and attitude. And he was saying that, before that I used to hit and I had a big ego. Now I can recognize it. I want to change. Then it happens. Then it happens. So what happens, when you are following these 8 steps with these small steps that you are applying every day, you understand the very nature of life. Ultimate goal is the nature of life. So when I understand the nature of life, I develop a sense of detachment and unconditional love to the people. Unconditional love. It doesn't mean that, when we are always keep hugging and no. It is an unconditional love. You live into that choiceless awareness. Buddha says that is compassion. And you continue doing your practice. You don't forget your practice. We forget the practice. We start living in ignorance. We have anxieties, delusion, and the pain points because my mind says, what will happen to my house or money or relation or the material things? A lot of people are doing the same thing. I want to remain attached to my honey, but he or she is not ready. Can you help me? What is the help? Find out, is attachment right or wrong? Oh, so you are not the right person. And then we go to the counselor and we start. And ultimately we end up, we already see something, with the near and the dear ones. Take any pain point, fear or anxiety, and apply these 8 steps. And you will see. Contemplate, reflect in your mind. At least intellectually you should be clear. Anything. So that's why when I say it is a strong foundation, you will see that. See, you have a fear, so what is this fear trying to protect or preserve? Ask yourself. Is the fear trying to protect and what? What it is that? It will help Christina in the profession also, because I said first you try with others and then you come near. So don't try at your home in the beginning. What wisdom this fear be pointing me toward? Ask this question and you will have an answer. fear of death, fear of meaninglessness, fear of loss in relationship, all can be solved easily. So when you don't forget these 8 steps, your mind addresses universal struggles that we all have, builds on a fundamental wisdom. It creates a foundation for a deeper self discovery. Think. I'm reminding you again, in the next year, for a few weeks and a month, change yourself completely. Share your experiences that I had this anxiety, I recognized it instantly, gone. Like this guy. Fear. I understood, reflected, it is gone. Pain points, everything is going, dissolving. Why? They do not exist. They are like a water in the mirrors. Water in the mirrors. Homework. Keep that homework. Maybe you keep on writing, journaling, or in your head. How many times I was into anxiety and delusion, and how many times I invited these pain points, and what is the solution? Who am I? Why am here? What is the purpose? Existential questions. And if you don't remember, if you have challenges in your personal, professional, social, and family life, start questioning from there. Come to these 8 foundational steps, and you will see it is gone. It has to go. If it doesn't go, let me know. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Place, position, and posture. So don't allow it to go. When we have a fear of death, the mind keeps on repeating. When we have financial issues, the mind keeps on repeating. Why we are not repeating? Place, position, and the posture. Now I have done it. That is why we have a problem. The mind says, no, take for granted. My main concern is outside. Like the guy I gave you this story. Stop spilling, and then you are ready. That is the purpose of place, position, and the posture. And then further changing the direction, you clearly see, being comfortable. You change the direction of the mind. Don't do, if you don't like, what I said, so simple, that you look at the neck joint, go deeper inside and experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Don't do that. But be aware that you have changed the direction of the mind. I'm not saying that what I teach you, you have to follow it blindly. But find out other ways also. Being comfortable and then being carefree. So, in being comfortable, we change the direction of the mind consciously. That is what I discussed with this young guy. So, at least, he is saying that, I became crazy. Why I became crazy? Why I got excited? There is no reason to get excited. agitated. Changing the direction of the mind. And then being carefree is the next step where you experience that all these anxieties, fears, and the pain points are separate from me because they are expressed through the thought, feeling, and emotions. There is no other, is there any other mechanism in you? Or they are just expressed by thought, feeling, and emotions? Tell me. You see the clarity? So the more contemplation you do while practice, the better meditation practice it will happen. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. I skipped the other one. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. May there be happiness for all. May there be happiness for all. You keep on saying at the outer layer of the mind, but internal layer is reflecting that happiness is my essential nature. It is the essential nature of every human race or all the living being. So there is no reason to be crazy. But I told you that our false eye lays too much importance on the outer life, external life of possessions, of wealth, of physical beauty, and long list. It will not easily accept it. That is why consistent listening and learning, contemplation and reflection, practice and experience, daily analysis they are required. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. May there be peace for all. I asked him that, can you just imagine? Just close your eyes and imagine before this event of hitting the biker. Tell me what it was. No, I was driving calmly and peacefully. What will happen tomorrow? I will forget this event. Why don't you forget now? So what is troubling you? Oh, my constant thought. That is what the false I is. Oh, that is what the false I is. He instantly recognized it and he started laughing. How come? May there be peace for all. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. I am not saying you have to follow. I am saying contemplate and reflect. Extract that knowledge and stay with the knowledge. Purnam, may there be completeness for all, wholeness for all. False I can never be going to be complete and whole. The real self can never be ever incomplete. Choose the one. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for all. Grace and the blessing. Every problem is an opportunity for me. Looking deep inside the forehead in the space, dropping Om Shanti and start breathing long deep in the hissing breath into the rib cage. अशोक मैं देख नहीं रहा हूं तुम्हें. Long deep in the hissing breath. Check that you already know endurance when the mind poses the problem.
Sir, my camera is not working.
क्या काम नहीं कर रहा?
मेरा कैमरा काम नहीं कर रहा है सर.
अच्छा ठीक, बढ़िया बात. Long deep in the hissing breath. Chin to the chest. So you are aware of many points: total expansion of the rib cage and total contraction. Long deep in the hissing breath. Om Shanti, you are dropping deep inside. So you have given so many points to the mind will not even think of it that I don't have the power to do it. And once you recognize and realize it, what is that recognition and realization? It is a step ahead in your journey. And that is why I translated that in the form of endurance and the joy of doing. That will you are breathing, you are dropping Om Shanti, you are in the state of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. You are fully aware of the expansion and contraction of the entire rib cage from the shoulders down to the last rib. It is not a small and short breath. And you are not moving your body. You also experience the state of endurance and the joy of doing it. Why? No pain points, no delusion, no anxieties, no worries. When you experience, it is the absence of these factors during the practice, then only you can take it to your personal, professional, social life. So normally we say, I have understood, and then you apply, it doesn't work. stop it, flow of the breath, aware of the flow of the breath. And in that flow of the breath, you experience the calmness or freshness or peace, the mind, and then check where the mind is. Mind is withdrawn inside. So you are aware the mind is, if the mind is living within, there is no anxiety, pain points, even if the challenges are there outside. You already know I convert the practice into based on the talk that I gave. Now is the time to look inside the forehead, Om Shanti, and start breathing into the belly, the long, deep, and the hissing breath. You inhale and the belly expands like a balloon, and you contract the belly button almost touches the spine. Metaphorically, so you know that how much expansion and how much contraction you need to do it. Continue doing it. Remember, endurance and joy of doing, no movement in the body, stillness in the body continues, and then see what happens. I'm extracting little more time from the talk to make this practice a little longer in this new year, and then we will return again to the same, so that there will be a faster change in our life. Here, inhaling and exhaling, deep, silent, deep, long in the hissing breath. Om Shanti continues. Stillness continues. Delusion will always be there. That delusion helps us to live the world in the transactional reality. That is the way I address there you are, I am here. But my attachment, my ignorance is gone. Continue. Long, deep in the hissing breath into your belly, Om Shanti. In the morning, my mind said, oh, where are your glasses? You see, the delusion, past impression will return. So did I have to make an effort to remove that thought? No. In the presence of the knowledge, it simply drops. In the presence of knowledge, the water in the mirage drops. The blueness of the sky. But blueness is continues. Continue. Yes, it will continue. But now you are 100% clear. Clear means knowledge. Knowledge means consciousness. Consciousness means awareness. And awareness means what? Free from anxieties, pain points, dualities. Now do nothing, remain as you are, just pay attention to the flow of the breath, and at the same time experience the peace, calm, and then check the reason. The mind is inward moving, or you can say inward living. Now again remove one more delusion. Mind is inward moving and inward living. Does it mean that the thoughts are totally absent? No, the thoughts are there, even of the yesterday event. But it does not have a power, energy to attract your attention and to get attached and to get overwhelmed. When I use the word, are you overwhelmed? And you say no, you heard it. So it does not contain the ignorance and the delusion. Remember, my friend, it's a very subtle nature, and in that state, you look at the 16 segments of a finger of the right hand fingers or left hand fingers and start dropping Om Shanti non-verbally. You're not moving the lips and the tongue. We want to check if the mind continues to live within. Why we want to check? This crazy mind says everything is outside. Because it has been living in delusion, so it wants to live in delusion. So we give totally a different perspective. That, what is that different perspective? Do you remember? I believe so. When you are saying Om Shanti, it is the eyes remain in the mind, ears remain in the mind. Did I said something like this? The touch remain in the all the sense organs are not allowed to go outside. But still you feel the sense of touch, the sense of sight, and the sense of the sound. Where? Inside your mind. Ability, it's a one skill. I'm with you. I have more time to be silent, and that is important now for you all. And moving the mind inside the heart, visualizing any triangle of any color, equilateral triangle pointing upward, moving the mind on the side of it, triangle. So it means you're aware of the side, you're aware of the movement, and drop Om Shanti clockwise and anti-clockwise. Here we are extraordinary attentive that it is thinking clearly. There is a smooth sailing clockwise, anti-clockwise. If that is there, moving the mind deeper inside the cave of your heart, singing mentally, mentally, and you seemingly, mind seems to stop. The moment it is, drop the shanti, and after that, you're doing nothing. When you are doing nothing, basically you are in the state of peace. Peace comes because of the quietness. Quietness is experienced how? When you see that mind will continue to function normally, minus anxiety, minus delusion, minus pain points. What it means? So, metaphorically, we say that state of the quietness, in that state, you are too far from the past thoughts, impressions, feeling, emotions, attachment. You're too far to touch them. That is the quietness. Or if you say that quietness is no thought, then we are dead. So in calmness, these thoughts are nearer than the quietness. And in relaxation, it is still near. In stillness, they are still near. So there's a process. The stillness and relaxation and the calmness and the quietness and the peace. After the peace, we have a zone of silence. Yeah, these are the spiritual terms we use. We'll talk about that. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti. Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both of arms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms, know your experiences, bring the hands down. We will share our experiences. How are you, Christina?
I'm doing well, thank you. There was so much in today's lesson. I have a question. You asked, what is the fear trying to protect or preserve? So I guess in modern psychology, we would go in a different direction, but from Eastern wisdom, is it that it's pointing to where to identify our attachments and delusions?
Pointing to ignorance. Under the ignorance included the delusion, your anxieties, your attachments, your expectations. The basic fundamental thing that I am ignorant of my real nature. If I'm ignorant of the real nature, it will manifest in millions of the things in your life. That is the main thing. Good. How are you, Samir?
Sir, one thing I have noticed is that as you start remaining in peace, no, you feel like that you are different from yourself.
Yes.
Means
You are different from your false I. You are right.
you, you are different from yourself. Your expectations are different from you.
Yes.
Actually, outside world is different from your inside world,
Yes.
and in
Yes.
so so you can analyze what you have to take the decision in outside world more wisely than you can take with the involvement of mind totally what you were doing before.
Yes. That is where we supersede the modern psychology. Because the mind, in modern psychology, mind is always trying to find the solution through the mind. We say allow the real self to manifest the mind and then find the solution. It's a hell of a difference between the two. So you are perfectly right. Both the points are very revealing that if I live in peace, which is unconditional, I'm making it clear, which is unconditional. The peace not because of you, peace not because of the money, peace not because of, because honey, you love me. Really? No, no. So once I'm aware of that fact, we are always happy. Then you perceive the world differently. What is that difference? Minus delusion, minus anxiety. You see the minus delusion, minus anxiety, minus pain points. Then we already know the result. Stephen, how are you?
Sir, thank you. I enjoyed the lesson. Lot of as you were going through the lesson, there was a lot of contemplation, reflection on my part. But this is the time of the year that we start talking about resolve and things we want to change, and I couldn't stop thinking about that. There's nothing about this journey that I want to change. I want to continue the commitment to this and elevating the awareness, applying the principles, and being able to pull the tools of the teachings of the Eastern wisdom as fast as possible. Because if I follow that path, at least what I've been taking from all these years of learning, is it's inevitable that real self will come.
Yeah.
I just need to work on peeling away the false I that continues to get in the way. And I felt good about that, which then led to a very, very deep meditation that the only thing that was different than usual was that when we got to the triangle and visualizing the triangle, I looked at the triangle from the top down, not looking at it coming, straight on or from behind it. And then I fell into this deep meditation, and then came out of it, and I could hear your words. It says, find the triangle again. And I struggled to find the triangle because it was no longer here, but it was outside. And once I found it, I found myself falling even deeper than before. So thank you.
Yeah. I will discuss in detail about this triangle also. I discussed a couple of times that what it represents. So I want to keep that in our meditation practice. And obviously that commitment, what you said, commitment to myself to live in the real self. Christina was saying that it is different in modern psychology. How you should have given the counseling to this young guy who almost wanted to hit the biker. They'll say, no, anger management lessons. We say, anger is your false eye. Recognize it. So there is a hell of difference between the two streams. One is searching the subjective reality, other wants to find a solution in the objective world, because it has to work with the false eye. So there is a big difference between the two. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. Starting first with the meditation, right after the breathing in the stomach, you said something about looking within, and I just started looking within, and then it was like, the only word I can think of was like kerplunk. I just dropped into this deep space, and I felt this, I felt like my real self.
Yeah.
And so because of that feeling, it just sort of reinforced the lesson of putting the tools in place to continue to get there. So thank you.
Beautiful. When I say that looking within is not within the body. It is a rise in awareness. And that is what happened to David. So you are totally absorbed. That is what, we are revealing those things, and that is really very good. Thank you. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. Thank you. The lesson was kind of like a map or the formula for how to use all these tools that you've taught us. And as we have opportunity to use the tools, we get to rise in awareness. And so it's almost like we don't want to have the opportunities, but yet the more opportunities we have, the faster we'll evolve and rise in awareness, because we get to use them and practice them and prove it.
Beautiful.
So yeah, thank you.
You see, there are two aspects. One aspect I covered, that how many times you go into anxiety, you experience the pain points and delusion start working from today, considering that today is the first day of the new year. Why don't you start from today? Why you wait for the first day of the next year? Oh, next year will come, then I will start, and the next year will never come in your life, I can bet you. This is what happens in our life. Second part, what I am saying, that if you don't count that there is no anxiety, there is no pain points, and there are no delusion, find out how many times, in how many events I was conscious, I took action, I thought consciously, I spoke consciously, I acted consciously. That's another positive side of it. Both are positives. When you recognize, you are recognizing the ignorance. When you recognize, you are recognizing that you are approaching near to the real self. In both ways it works. How are you, Dennis? Then we'll go to, yes.
Thank you for the session. I was thinking how to of the best way how to answer that question that you asked me in the beginning, whether I am changing or not.
Yeah.
And I think I can answer it that there's now something like a supervisor installed in my intellect that activates whenever the mind wants to go to the extremes.
I like it.
It examines the impulses of the mind and checks them against the principles of the Eastern wisdom. And the change is that before it was more of a suppression when the mind had an impulse and there was a suppression of that impulse, and that naturally gave birth to a conflict. And now it is more of an awareness and understanding that this or that impulse is not really necessary. It is. It will not help me achieve my goal.
Beautiful.
So this is like more of a peaceful and conflict-less process for me now, and in that I see a change.
Beautiful.
And as far as my meditation, it was very peaceful, calm, and I think I can say that the point of awareness was shifting, and I could see how it shifted from the thoughts and experiences, which were plenty after the breathing, to something inside, and these experiences were like on the background.
Beautiful experiences, and you rightly pointed out that is worth mentioning and that is worth noting, and remembering also what he said is there seems to be a supervisor in my intellect who guides, and that supervisor is already illuminated. That doesn't happen in modern psychology. Why it is illuminated? There is no suppression. Impulses, anxiety, no, you belong to the false I. Come on. Take rest. And it flees, it dissolves there and then. Gradually, what will happen? This supervisor will be replaced by the real self. Yes, we need that. We need that. That is what the discernment and dispassion is. And it changes our whole perspective. So I told this, we discussed a lot, and I told that, okay, the biker was angry, then why you got angry? Now you see, as a seeker, he said, that's a valid point. I should not be influenced by the outer circumstances. That is the role of a supervisor. How are you, Brandy? Beautifully said, yes.
Thank you.
Today is the new year.
Today's the new year.
Yeah.
What is today? The 23rd of December. I don't even know. I think, about the guy and the bike and all that, these pain points, these things that arrive serve as opportunities to check ourselves, which is what I think everyone's been saying here. And it's sometimes simple and sometimes not. But to your point, like these things in life are going to keep happening. And so we really do have a choice if we stay wrapped up in them or if we find peace separate from them and the real self. And so, you've taught us this in a lot of different ways, but it was a really good reminder for me today and a good way to think about it and apply it in my meditation and my reflection. So thank you.
Yeah. Beautifully said. You raised that one point, and I will explain by a simple metaphor. The biker say that biker is the same. He is full of rage, anger, and he came out of the bike and he abusing you. You are a non-seeker. How will you react? Now you have in the first stage of a seeker, how will you react? You are now a seeker. How will you respond? From the reaction, you move to the response. In the fourth event, how will you respond? Now I know the supervisor. Supervisor is there. inside my head. There is no question. The world of events will continue to happen. It happens, so let me see what is the best way. So there is no suppression at all, and it is solved and done. That is what you say. That is the meaning that I change myself. I'm changing my behavior, my attitude, my responses to the things in the world outside. How are you, Terry? Then we'll go to Vaibhav. Yes.
I feel like there was I was caught between the peace and the barrage of distraction.
Yeah.
It was like a chattering crowd
Yeah.
going, move, do this. And then I felt like I touched on the piece, and the crowd was going, no, look at me. And I was between them. So I have a lot of work to do.
No, you have only one thing to do. Leave the crowd.
Yeah.
Just leave the crowd. You have only one thing to do.
Yeah, I couldn't get away.
It's a very interesting analysis. The crowd was there, so I have to deal with the crowd. No, you leave the crowd. All the crowd belongs to delusion, anxieties, and pain points. I'm not there.
Yeah.
Finished.
Huh.
Previously, you used to say that my maid drive me nuts. So, maid and the nuts are always outside. Leave it.
Yeah. I think I have the supervisor. I like the supervisor.
Yeah.
That's
That is a good
that is
word.
helpful. That is helpful.
Beautiful.
And
Yes. I'm
Yeah.
very happy everyone is sharing their experiences. Yes, Vaibhav.
Thank you, sir. So the moment I started my meditation, some past memory triggered in, and I was a little anxious at that time. But the moment I bring my attention towards the mantra, I was totally calm at that time. I was totally absorbed and calm. So what I realized is that when I know my real self, I will not pick my false nature by choice,
Good.
and I will do it consciously. And this was the thing that I was getting from the today's lesson also, that whenever I know my real self, I definitely will not choose the wrong thing. So mind
Yes.
remains calm.
Yes. So I will not choose my impulsive mind to react, to raise, and no, so it means I'm not choosing anxiety, I'm not choosing delusion, I'm not choosing pain points, I'm not choosing the crowd, in the words of Terry. So what I am choosing, and that Dan has raised the point that so there is a supervisor who recognizes, oh, choose this and that. Why I don't choose these anxiety pain points? Because they are delusion. Finished. I need not to worry. Anger is a delusion. Finished. So that's a remarkable difference between the Eastern wisdom, and that's where we enter into the spirituality or the spiritual consciousness. Very good, wonderful sharing the experiences. New Year starts today. Don't plan. You start working from today. Oh, I will plan, I resolve that resolution, remains as it is. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Namaste.
sir. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, sir. Namaste, everyone.